Words cannot adequately describe our happiness and our sense of gratitude at the honor that has been bestowed upon my father by naming the school as the Sunandan Divatia School of Science. SVKM is an institution with a glorious past. Over the last 12 to 15 years that I have been associated with SVKM, I have seen that under the leadership and vision of Shri Amrish Bhai and the execution of Shri Bhupesh Bhai and the entire SVKM and NMIMS team, new institutions of learning have continuously been established. It has also been ensured that institutions which were established and created 40 to 50 years ago are nurtured, preserved, maintained, and they continue to maintain and grow in their reputation and stature. Old buildings, outdated infrastructure has been dismantled, and new facilities and new infrastructure as per the requirements of a new global world have been created. I can truly say in this context that SVKM has been blessed by that one God manifested as the creator, the preserver, and the destroyer. The blessings of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, all three are there on SVKM. A very important point at SVKM, all students in different disciplines, different colleges, irrespective of the amount of fees that they pay, have been given the same standard and the same level of facilities by this management. There is no distinction between Eklavya and Arjun at SVKM. This rare honor which is conferred upon my father today, therefore, increases manyfold when my father's name is associated with such an institution. On behalf of myself, my father, and our entire family, I would like to especially thank Shri Amrish Bhai and Shri Bhupesh Bhai for this very, very touching gesture. This honor has been conferred upon him not merely because of his services to SVKM or the efforts that he has put in, but because of the nobility in the minds and hearts of Shri Amrish Bhai and Bhupesh Bhai. Sir, we stand humbled today. My gratitude is to all the office bearers, the SVKM managing committee members, and the members of the board of management for having wholeheartedly accepted Amrish Bhai's suggestion in this behalf. My father lost his father when he was just 13 years old. The two largest influences in his formative years were his mother Hasuben and his eldest brother Niranjan Bhai. He came from therefore a very close-knit family. It's a matter of happiness for us that his elder sister Geera Ben, who is 87, and Niranjan Bhai's wife, my Kaki, who is 90, are also here today with us. He came to Mumbai in 1957 with his educational qualifications and rupees 150 given to him by his elder brother. In Mumbai, as he was in Ahmedabad, he was always very active in social and public life. At the age of 35, he was the president of a consumers cooperative society in Parle with more than 1,000 members. And then he entered politics also. He was an active congressman and was closely associated with the election campaigns of the then law minister H.R. Gokhale and was the chief election agent for the elected Congress MLA in 1972. He was also the president of the Block Congress Committee and was also active at what was then the Bombay Pradesh Congress Committee. In 1981, he was elected as the founder vice president and the founder trustee of the Juhu Parle Gymkhana Club, an association which continued for almost 10 years. He was also the president of the Lions Club of Juhu and associated with Kala Gurjari. All these associations, professional and social, have created very warm and lasting friendships for him. However, it has been at SVKM where he has devoted the maximum time and effort and commitment. It has been an association since 1989 as a co-opted member of the managing committee and then as an office bearer since 1996. He deeply cherishes the affection and respect that he has received from all his SVKM, be it the fellow office bearers, managing committee members, academic staff, and especially all the colleagues in the central office with whom he works on a day-to-day basis. I can only say one thing, that his life has truly been enriched by SVKM and the association. In Mumbai, SVKM has been like a family for him, joining us in our good times and a support system in difficult times. I remember one occasion when my father was to be operated for open heart surgery. We were all a bit dazed. And we had to decide the doctor from the two most well-known names in Mumbai, probably India. Amrish Bhai had visited my father and told him that I know one of them. And if you decide to be under his care, I will ensure that he will be available for you at any time, even in the middle of the night. That was a big reassurance for us. We went with that doctor. And then Bhupesh Bhai took over. He personally fixed the appointment. He personally picked me up from my residence, accompanied me for the consultation and to finalize all the details of the surgery. Praveen Bhai Gandhi and the others were there by my side for my father during that surgery, like many of you. And each and every one was a great pillar of support for us. In fact, in a lighter vein, I can also say that when he is irritated with me because I have not done something in time, he says, okay, I will manage myself. I will have somebody who will help me out. My father has very fond memories of three persons at SVKM who are no more with us. Right. One is the late Shri Mukesh Bhai. It was under Mukesh Bhai's presidentship that my father became a regular member of the managing committee and an office bearer of this institution in 1996. He worked very closely with Mukesh Bhai, and probably every few days I still hear the stories and tales recounted of Mukesh Bhai as a lion-hearted, warm and generous person. I will recollect one of those stories. Once my father came late for an SVKM meeting. And Mukesh Bhai asked him, what happened? Shu thayu, kem moda cho? My father explained, some issue with some authority. And I was preparing the paperwork. Mukesh Bhai said, done. This was it. After the meeting was over, Mukesh Bhai told him, chalo mari sathe gaadi ma, mare gher. Not knowing what was in store, my father sat with him. After they went home and they had the usual cup of tea, Mukesh Bhai said, okay, now give me the papers. My father said, I am not carrying the papers with me. Then he said, okay, you go and get them right now. Take my car and driver, go home and get a copy also. My father was still not knowing what was happening, but he did what Mukesh Bhai said. Went home, got the papers. When he came back, a third person was sitting there. And Mukesh Bhai introduced me to my father to him. I will not take names, but that gentleman was probably the highest or second highest ranking person, and probably 6 or 7 degrees or ranks above the person who had raised that query. He was an all India figure. That was Mukesh Bhai. Mukesh Bhai told him, "Ajara solve kari dejo, no problem." That was Mukesh Bhai. He was willing to use a fire extinguisher to stub out a cigarette butt if it concerned his friends. Most of us would think, "Sona ni jal kya pani mana kiya." I believe probably even Amrish Bhai or Bhupesh Bhai would not know of this incident. The second person was Shri Mahendra Bhai Nanavati, a very close friend of my father, who was very happy when he came to know that Mukesh Bhai had offered him the office bearership and that my father had accepted it. Mahendra Bhai too had great regard for Mukesh Bhai and then later on Shri Amrish Bhai. The third person, who is also no longer with us, is Shri Balwant Bhai Sheth. My father had a long, cordial and excellent working relationship with Balwant Bhai. They worked hand in hand with each other. During the first few years as office bearers, there were many difficulties and issues which were faced, and they tackled them together. Balwant Bhai and my father worked from the same room and shared both table and tension of those days together. When Balwant Bhai took over as mentor of NMIMS, he suggested to my father, "Why don't you also come and shift there?" My father had to explain to him that since my work is with the central office, I need to be close to the central office. Friends, I thank you all for your love and affection all these years and for being here today in spite of this busy Monday morning. I once again thank Shri Amrish Bhai. I am a little emotional right now. Shri Bhupesh Bhai and everybody at SVKM for this honor. Thank you, Dr. Saxena, Dr. Welling and the NMIMS team and his colleagues, Mr. Basak, Mr. Raute,